We have finally come to the end of this godforsaken pacifist challenge. All the excruciating missions and challenges we had to overcome have finally led us to this. Now we're able to find out once and for all how many people are required to die for this single campaign. Prepare yourself for this grand finale of Can You Beat Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare as a pacifist? We left off last time with Imran Sakayev's missiles being flung into the atmosphere. These missiles contained all the last Fortnite gift card codes in existence and were being sent directly to the main American cities. We could not allow these codes to be distributed among the common folk, and so it was our mission to prevent the missiles from reaching their destination. We returned to Soup as the gang began their infiltration of Zakayev's main base of operations, which is their only chance to prevent this goddamn apocalypse. We go inside and are straight away confronted by crap tons of enemies, as expected, and even a fucking tank. Now this area was easy enough, as there was an abundance of cover. Also, it seems that for once, these first few enemy vehicles are actually able to be taken out by my teammates. Let's fucking go! Congrats, you can finally be of some use once and for all, in one of the last missions nonetheless. Next, we had to make our way into the following courtyard thingy. I don't know the precise terminology, I'm not an ultra-nationalist terrorist. Luckily we are accompanied by quality teammates like Griggs and Price, who are literally immortal, and so are the most incredible pieces of cover. To make things even better, one of my fellow SAS members planted an explosive charge on a fence we needed to get past relatively quickly, and so we did not need to get shot at too much. This next part however was so bloody worrying, as now there are 2 tanks that are required to be blown to shit, and it seems like this time it was all up to me. Please take the hint guys, I'm not actually a good soldier, but rather a follower of Jesus. As soon as I entered this area for the first time, I straight away ran to the left side, behind multiple pieces of cover, as to see if my team would be as useful now as they had been previously. It seems as though they only wanted to be useful when it suits them, instead of actually being good pals and supporting me in my struggles unconditionally. What selfish arseholes, I know. And so I told them to go fuck themselves and that their mum's a whore, causing them to rage quit. Come on guys, it was just a bit of banter. I thought that the easiest way to take the tanks out myself was to use the rocket launcher, and so I thought that some of them would be inside a couple of hangars on the pitch. However, when we went inside one, there of course was nothing useful inside, and so I was surrounded and got literally fucked. I did not know what to do after that point. I just tried anything I could to get that little bit closer to victory. I'm sure some of this had some plan behind it. I'm just not entirely sure what it was. I've been watching this footage back now for a few minutes, and I seriously have no clue what I was trying to do at this point. I think I just wanted to see if my team would do anything after a while, but really I just can't understand what past me was even thinking here. Anyway, I finally decided that I would have no choice but to destroy these tanks myself, as my team clearly weren't doing shit. So I planted C4 on the first and made a big boom. However, the second was much more difficult, as it had so many more enemies protecting it. But after dying once, I found that the checkpoint had stopped the enemies from spawning for another few seconds, and so I was able to get to the tank, plant the bomb, and then light that shit up. This means that we have to add another 5 kills to our total, 2.5 for each tank. The team are then able to move further into the base, underground, where the control room is, and which we need to reach in order to prevent the missiles from ever reaching their target. We enter through the ventilation shaft and drop into the shower room from the vents. That's a little sussy. What if someone was having a peaceful shower? That would be a bit awkward now, wouldn't it? I attempt to take out the TVs in the locker rooms, however they seem to be bloody impenetrable. I knew that the Russians had some advanced technology. Stop hiding this shit from us. I could use one of those myself. A countdown then begins. We only have 11 minutes until the end of the world as we know it. Even in this first section I had many deaths. This underground bunker has so many small corridors, which actually makes fighting in them harder when you are solely relying on your teammates, as I am. You can't just run in and get them to follow you, as then you just instantly die, and so you just have to wait for the enemy to get closer to you and taken care of by Bryce and Griggs while you hide behind the most minimal of cover. We managed to get through the cafeteria, but then many rooms are still left to overcome. And oh fuck me, this one room is the absolute fucking worst. I hate it so much that I do not even want to start writing this script about it. I wish I could just move on and forget about this part. but then all my suffering would just be in vain. So fine. Let's fucking get it over with. There is one small corridor at the bottom of the set of stairs that leads into a much larger room with many boxes placed around it with walls between the rooms, creating different sub-corridors which enemies could sneak around and fuck you over before you could even say fuck me, that's a large weapon you've got there. I want to die, and there are so many deaths here, and so I will literally just continuously show them in the background. The first few attempts at this, I had no idea how much pain was about to come. I thought that just hiding behind my team would be enough, waiting for them to take everyone out like usual would work, but no, of course not. This game's not that generous. No, instead my team seems to now have their thumbs up their arse, and are worse than me at doing anything combat related. So instead I just needed to find a way to run through all the enemies without experiencing instant death. But no! There were so fucking many of them that I could not even be able to get through them just like that. Maybe hiding and then sneaking around them to the exit might work, you might be thinking. No, the enemies are bloody everywhere. No matter where you are, they will always find and murder you. Every single death you see here is only a fraction of the amount I had to withstand. I ran, bunny hopped, threw a flash every now and then after I realised I still had them, and then just continuously died over and over again. I hate flashbangs. They are so incredibly inconsistent with their capabilities. I could get flashed with one of my own, being a mile away from it, but the guy standing right bloody next to it would be absolutely perfectly dandy, and so straight up slaughter me. Alright, now I'm going to show you my successful attempt. I seriously have no clue why this one single try works so well, however I'm not going to ever complain. I was at this for about 15 minutes, but god damn it, it felt like over an hour. Through this whole attempt, I was absolutely shitting myself. However, with clever uses of flashbangs and bunny hops, I was able to finally reach the other room. However, there was this one enemy who followed behind me, and as I was only one hit away from death, the only thing I could do to stop me from breaking my TV was to shoot him in the leg. This guy then stumbled around, but then was ultimately killed by Price. Now I'm gonna say that I had nothing to do with his death, so just get used to it I guess. We are finally able to move into one of the final rooms. This also had fucking hundreds of enemies, and so again all I could try to begin with is pushing Price out into the open to see if his attacks would actually do anything. I'm sure you could already guess whether they did or not. No! They did fuck all! What a surprise! However, I still tried this tic-tac over and over again to see if that would change, but of course not. Why would it, really? I don't really know why I'd think that would change. Anyway, the only thing left that I could do was again running straight through the enemies and praying I just didn't become Swiss cheese. For the next 10 minutes I was throwing flashbangs, trying to get past everyone, until one attempt I was just able to stun everyone and run straight past them. This surprised even me, however I was finally able to move on. We are now only one room away from the war room, where we can finally take down the missiles and prevent a catastrophe from unfolding. We wait for the doors to open extremely slowly, then sprint behind cover, and once again wait for Price and Griggs to take everyone out. Luckily, they are much more effective here, even though I still had to push them into the open so they can keep firing. Once everyone was dead, we prepare to breach the war room. We enter and watch as all the enemies are taken down by our friendly forces. We upload the abort codes and successfully destroy the mission. Fuck. We upload the abort codes and successfully destroy the missiles. We have done it. We have destroyed the last remaining Fortnite codes. And it's all thanks to Soup and Price. What legends. They will be remembered forever for their bravery and resilience. I can tell you are all just as relieved as I am. But it's not over yet. Zakhaev is escaping, and we need to end this once and for all. We leave the war room and head towards the vehicle depot, where Gaz is awaiting our arrival. We take out the last few remaining enemy forces and head out. We have finally reached the last mission. This is our one and only chance to take out Zakhaev once and for all, and to end this awful nightmare of pacifism. In this mission we are chasing after Zakhaev's helicopter. However, we are also combated by more enemies in their own cars and trucks chasing after us. We are positioned in the back of the car, expected to fire on them to destroy their cars. If you do not fire back at them, you are very quickly killed from the abundance of enemies. As Price is complaining about us not firing on that truck, I had the idea to just start shooting either into the sky or at the road, which seemed to prevent the enemies from hitting me as much for some reason. Continuing to do this proves the effectiveness of this tactic, as they only rarely seem to be able to hit me until we are able to achieve a checkpoint. Every now and then I would accidentally hit an enemy and so restart myself. However, this did not happen much, and so we get past these sections easily. Zakai's helicopter comes from behind, and if we do not fire at it with the RPGs we are given, it will always blow us up, and so I fire at it, after a few deaths of course, just to make sure. But your shots are always supposed to miss, and so we do not kill anyone. Then suddenly it takes out the bridge in front of us, and we become surrounded. All we can do now is hold off against incoming enemies on the broken bridge until support helicopters arrive. This is quite difficult, as we are constantly being pinned down. However, my team is able to hold off against the enemies relatively well, until we are once again blown up by the chopper. We are then injured, Griggs being the only one of us left to give covering fire. Until that's when the main man himself, Zakhaev, enters with his bodyguards to finish the job himself. He takes down Gaz, then it's just me and Price. Until the helicopter behind him is blown to shit, and a friendly helicopter comes down. But it's still not over. Once again, it's all down to me. Price passes me a gun, which he could have easily used himself by the way, and we have the last chance to finish this. We have no choice but to shoot them. Waiting this out just leads to our death. Shooting just one leads to our death. Leaving just one alive, guess what, leads to our death. Nothing works. I tried other things, like some of the intel cheats, such as this, or even this for some reason, but nothing could change how this ends. We are forced to kill the final 3 enemies right at the end of the last mission. God damn it, Price. This is all your bloody fault, you lazy bitch. That means you cannot, in fact, beat Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare as a pacifist. We have come all this way, killing as few enemies as possible throughout this whole campaign. However, we are still required to kill a total of 109 enemies in this campaign. This is truly disappointing, as I would have hoped it would have been less than 100 at the very least. However, that's that, and I can now move on with my life. If you want to try this challenge out for yourself and try to find other tactics to kill even fewer enemies than I did, be sure to comment down below or tag me on Instagram, link in the description. Oh, and there's also no chance I did the epilogue mission as well as a pacifist. That's basically impossible. However, if we get over 69 likes on this video, then I will consider giving it another go, on the second hardest difficulty. Thank you so much for joining me on this excruciatingly painful challenge. If you have any other challenge ideas, be sure to leave them in the comments and I'll see if I can attempt them. I hope you had more fun than I did, because I hated every single moment of this. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.